Oh,
Hi, friends. Welcome to this week's DFU, or Dead Funny University. I should probably say the full title in these things. I'll say the full title in the intro.
in the
I
classes, it actually has it spelled out. In the semesters, normally it's too long of a title, so I do
right.
DFU. But in the classes, it
Mhm.
says Dead Funny University, so they shouldn't.
I should probably, use all the words. I can use all the words.
Use
So,
your brain, people. It's in a
welcome to Dead Funny
playlist.
University. I'm your host and fellow student trying to find cheap ways around things. My name's Kelsey, in case you didn't know. This week we are talking about Warcraft Reforged.
Well,
I don't know shit about this, except I think it might be a video game.
let's
Chris is
let's 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 take a hot pause. We are not talking about Warcraft Reforged. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's what I had on the schedule.
That's
What do
what you
you
had
think
on
we're
the
talking
schedule. What do you
about?
think we were talking about last week? Because we didn't early yesterday. Remember, we talked about this. We literally talked
Yeah,
about this in Slack.
we did, but we talked about what the fuck are we talking about?
Okay.
No. We're taking the time to figure out what
What
the fuck
is
we're
the
talking
DFU
about.
on? Shoot, my calendar's at home. I can't remember. I can send it to you whenever I get home tonight, but that won't be till 7. Well, I remember you brought
Devil
up
May
Devil May
Cry.
Cry and something else. I can't remember what the second one was. Life is Strange. Ah, yeah, I haven't finished that
I
series
got
yet.
there. You can shut up now. We're talking about Devil May
So
Cry,
then that is a
everybody.
no. We can reschedule, or I can send it to you at 7, your preference. We can do whatever. I'm not against Devil May Cry, Kelsey. Okay, let's do
It is not
that.
fun for anybody to be listening to you right now.
It is fucking fun for me.
Well,
And that's
you
all
are
that
in the
matters.
minority.
That is all that matters.
You are in the minority.
My face
I
when you
want
started listing off that
your
other
shit.
game, I was like, what the fuck is she doing? I have no idea what that other game was. So I was like, we are both going to be learning something today. Ain't gonna just be you.
Well, everybody, Chris is already teaching us shit. He's our professor this week. Everybody buckle in. God only knows what's coming. I've already pissed him off and we're 5 minutes into this. All right, Chris, teach me junk.
Oh wow, that's rough. That's a hard one on the fucking on Devil May Cry. Ow, Jesus, poor Devil May Cry.
Easily the
Junk right
worst
off the
intro
bat.
I think we've done.
I think so for sure. Yeah, so I guess we'll just jump right into the questions that you're not going to get whatsoever. So
I don't even know what the hell Devil May Cry is.
exactly.
Sure.
So this is gonna be great. So let's start out with something easy. Who is the main character of Devil May Cry?
You.
No. Who? Well, this is gonna give you the answer to the first one. But who are Dante's parents? You
God
don't
and
know.
Gaia?
I mean, the sad part is how close you are to the father.
Yeah.
That's the
I was
sad
able
part.
to guess based on the name Dante.
How close you are. It's crazy. So, well, somewhat. What
I feel
is
like you're
Dante?
mocking me.
No, I'm not actually.
Demigod.
Close, but not no dice.
False. I
Who
wanted to
is
be right.
Dante's identical twin brother?
Satan?
Nope.
Okay.
How can you tell them apart?
They're dick size.
Nope. Okay. So,
Should not have said
DMC,
that on the internet.
as it is known. Yep, that's out there. DMC, as it is known. Devil May Cry is a series that started out on the PlayStation 2 and has moved its way up through multiple different platforms now, all the way up to Devil May Cry 5. So we have a series that went from Devil May Cry to Devil May Cry 5, and there's been one off series in between that, which is Devil May Cry again. It was a reboot. Again, it's not the title. Sorry, just Devil May Cry. It was a reboot, and it was terrible. They decided to completely change Dante's appearance, like 100% completely. Like it looked terrible. And I didn't even touch that one. I physically refused to play that one. I will not play that one, no matter what. 5, I'll play for content, but that's about it. So, those of you who do love the Devil May Cry series and wonder if we're going to touch on 5, we're really not going to touch on 5. The plan is that we'll do this, see how it goes, then maybe I'll play the game, beat it, so that way I can finish the story, because Devil May Cry 5 is the end of the series. It's the last one. So that way I can tell Kelsey what the end of the story is. But, anyways, Devil May Cry takes place around a character named Dante. Dante is your main character. His job is basically a paranormal mercenary. He hunts demons and other things that are all bad and evil in the world. Da 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 da. He is a cocky, smartass.
So you like him?
Asshole, obviously. A little bit asshole. It's actually funny because his brother, his identical twin brother, who is extremely uptight and shit like that, and more just about his goals and stuff, is actually my favorite character in the game. His name is Virgil. And the way that you can tell them apart is Dante likes to wear his white hair down. Comes down to like about midway through his neck. And Virgil likes to wear his hair up. And Dante loves red and Virgil loves blue. So they're always wearing clothes that symbolize those colors. When we were talking earlier and doing the first thing, I asked you who Dante's parents are. His parents are Sparda with a D and Eva. Sparda is a huge fucking demon, basically almost Satan, which is why I was like close, as you said the other one. So Sparda married a human woman and gave birth to 2 half demon, half human sons, which is why I also said close when you said demigod, or like demi-demon.
Okay, so half demon, or do they have a new name for it?
They don't have a new name for it. They just say half human, half demon. I say demi-demon. Fuck it, same thing. Demi-demon.
That's kind of cute, actually.
Right?
Demi-demon's adorable.
Demi-demon. So,
Demi-demon.
See, I like how like whenever I rebrand stuff, it just gets cute. We had Demi-demon.
He's so cute.
And then before that, we had Sephi. And I was like, we don't want to say Sephiroth, and we just got Sephi. It's little Sephi.
Your day job should probably be naming little, what are they called? Oh no, I've forgotten. Oh no, chibis. There we go. All I had was chocobos and cherubs, and neither of those are the right thing.
Chibi-bibis.
You should name chibis. It'd be so cute.
So the overall story basically is Dante going through and killing a lot of fucking demons and stuff like that. That's that's basically the main part of it, and trying to stop the forever wanting to open doors from hell from opening, so that way the earth doesn't get engulfed by demons and so on and so forth. Virgil is on the opposite side of that. He wants to open the hell gates and obtain the power that his father couldn't, and become the strongest demon there is and fucking rule everything. So his brother's actually the bad guy. And a couple of the games, and by couple I mean 3 and 4, because I haven't played 5 yet, but 3 and 4, you actually get to play as Virgil a little bit as well. Because what they've done in some of the previous games, which is pretty cool, is they had this mode called the Bloody Palace mode. And basically it's just like you picking whatever character you want to out of the game series, and then surviving just endless onslaughts of demons, trying to make it all the way up to floor 9,999. Yeah, I've done it. I got the achievement to prove it. It was fun. It's great. Good times. But yeah, and I did it with Virgil, because Virgil's a badass. So Virgil, the reason why he's my favorite is, one, I just like his attitude, but he also uses a he's got a little bit of the cocky side too. He's just more serious. He only uses, well, not only, he does use a couple other weapons later on in the game, but basically he mainly likes to only use his katana, and I'm a big katana fan. I love katanas, so it's pretty awesome.
Virgil uses a katana?
Yep.
Virgil
uses a katana.
What does Dante use?
Dante has a gigantic longsword, and it's called Rebellion, or it's more like a claymore almost, and it looks pretty wicked.
Interesting.
But they also have multiple different weapons in their arsenal. So Dante also has 2 pistols, ebony and ivory, 1 white solid pistol and 1 black solid pistol. And then he also gets weapons from, those are his weapons. Then he gets weapons from killing enemies in the game and taking their souls and harvesting them into weapons, like the bosses. So in 3, he kills Cerberus, which is a 3-headed ice dog. And he gets a nunchuck, if you will, which was actually pretty badass.
I mean, that sounds cool.
Yep. And then,
do you have any cute names for that?
No. Well, I thought nunchuck was made up, so I don't think that's an actual word. But I'm just going with it. So
I think. Wait a minute. I was thinking throwing star. Nunchuck?
Yes.
All 3 of them are attached.
Yes.
Now, is it like part you can grip chain, part you can grip, chain, part you can grip, or
No,
is there a bar in the middle where there are 3?
No, it's a ring that
It's a
holds
ring.
all 3 of them connected to a chain.
So it would make like a star.
Well, no, it would just like if you were holding it by the ring, they would all be just hanging down. It's like keychain, and each nunchuck is connected to its own chain on this ring, and the chain connects to the ring.
Okay.
So it's like a keychain dangling like keychain.
So, yeah, but I'm talking about if you laid them out. Whatever. We're talking about the same thing. We're there. I got there.
Okay, so we're there. And then he also has Agni and Rudra, which are a fire and wind characters, which those are actually pretty cool because like these big fat bodies that are like just sitting at the top of these things, and all of a sudden like you hear these things talking, and it's their heads are actually connected to their swords, so that their head is on the hilts of the sword, so they each have one sword apiece, and they go fighting, and then after you kill them, Dante decides to take the swords, and they go to start talking. He's all like, one rule, because they're all like, oh, take us with you, don't let you leave us here to rot for eternity. And he goes, one rule, and they're like, what? And he's all like, no talking. And they go, but, and then he slams the heads together and he's like, no talking. And then they just quiet. And so then he has the fire and wind swords, Agni and Rudra, which is pretty cool. And then there's also Beowulf, which he gets from beating the fuck out of this tiger, which is pretty awesome. And they make these gauntlets around his hands and gauntlets around his feet, or boots around his feet, and he can like do crazy fucking moves. He also gets an electric guitar from killing this Dracula bat chick, which is probably the dumbest weapon in the game, in my opinion.
Also, the lore seems a little weirder on that one.
Yeah, it's all over the place. It really is. I think that about covers Dante's weapons. And that's just 3. And 4, he gets all kinds of different fucking weapons. It's crazy. I think the coolest weapon out of 4 was it's called like Lucifer, I think it was. And he gets like a rose in his mouth, and then he gets this shoulder pauldron that's like a skull, and it has a bone wing, if you will, and it shoots out these little red swords out of the bone wing that are like little red bone swords, and he can throw those, and they stick, and then he grabs the rose out of his mouth and throws the rose, and as soon as it touches, it blows up all the fucking swords.
That's interesting.
So you could stick a shit ton of them into an enemy and then throw the rose at the enemy, and then it will blow up all the swords inside of them.
Huh? And these are all Dante's weapons?
Yeah. That's one of his weapons in 4. That was my favorite in 4. I wasn't gonna go through all of them in 4 because there's a shit ton of them.
Yeah. No, I'm sure there's a shit ton of weapons. We only need, I imagine, the significant ones.
Yeah, I didn't even go through the gun weapons. He gets other guns too, snipers, shotguns, so on and so forth. Yeah, a lot of his shit upgrades. But yeah, so the overall main story is that the way that, well, I haven't played the first and second one in a while, so I might get a little bit of this wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm close to right. At some point, his father tries to take on Mundus, I think is his name, which is basically the devil, if you will, and tries to get that power. In that's when they end up losing their mother. Mundus kills their mother. Their mother was just a human. And he did try to hurt Sparta. Sparta didn't give a shit, obviously. So the mother actually gave each one of the boys a pendant before she died. And like they can actually connect together back to back, the 2 pendants do. Mm-hmm. And those actually end up becoming a portal that's part of opening the portal to the demon world.
Oh, neat. Mm-hmm. Which, just to refresh me, Dante wants to close all portals to the demon world. Virgil wants to open it up and lead them.
Yep, correct.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep. Oh yeah, Virgil doesn't use guns, by the way. I know I talked about Dante's guns. Virgil doesn't like to use guns. He will if he actually absolutely has to, but he normally is only ever seen with just his katana, which is called Yamato.
I'm so bothered by his use.
I don't get why you're bothered by the katana.
Virgil and Dante are both Italian poets. There are much better options for an Italian poet.
Not who they are in this game. Virgil can be used for multiple different reasons.
But why would you name one brother Virgil and the other brother Dante if you weren't trying to lean into the reference?
because
Like,
that was just
these were
the names
Augustinian
that they
poets.
They were names that they liked and wanted to use, Kelsey. Get over it!
No. Absolutely not. Continue.
Absolutely. Anyways, so moving on. So basically the brothers want to fucking avenge their mother. They both love their mother, But Virgil actually takes in the side that he knows that they have a father. He knows who their father is and wants the power. Dante just wants to refuse that they have a father at all. He fucking hates Sparta because he obviously believes that he's the reason his mother died, so on and so forth. So we'll talk a little bit more about 3 and 4 because 3 is my favorite out of the series. I think it's the most well done one. And then in 4, you got more wrapped up in a new character that they gave you, and his name is Nero. And Nero makes you in the I believe in 4 there was a lot of hints pointing towards Nero being the cousin of Dante and Virgil. You find out later in 5, which I haven't played, but I've watched some of the cutscenes, that Nero is actually Virgil's son. So you're doing this thing right now with your face.
Nero, another significant Italian person of roughly the same age. Like, they've got 3 of them. They have 3 of them. They're doing this on purpose.
They've caught 3 Italians. It's okay. They're probably not the first people to do that. That's all I'm saying. They've caught 3 of them.
You know what?
Now that's the spicy meatball. That's all I'm saying.
I hate you.
Oh, shit. Anyways, so Nero, in my opinion, really wasn't that cool. I didn't really like Nero that often. But there were a couple of times where I was like, he's alright. And then it was back to, I don't really care. So, Nero's shit is that, first off, his sword is so stupid. So stupid. It's called Red Queen, and it has a motorcycle handle on it as the blade. And
I don't like that.
He can rev it up, and then the sword will do more damage if he revs it up and gets it fully charged. It's fucking stupid. It's dumb. It's so dumb. His gun's pretty cool. It's a double-barreled revolver called Blue Rose. That's pretty fucking cool. I like his revolver. But Nero has a special trick up his sleeve, if you will. And it's his right arm. Yes, right arm is half demon. Just his arm. So like from
like just the whole arm?
From the elbow down to the fingers is a demonic arm. And he doesn't know. He just physically doesn't know what it's from, where it's from, And he's trying to hide that from the society that he lives in. So this is the cool part that I liked about 4. Is that he lives in a closed society. And they have their own church, their own everything. They worship Sparta as a god. Because they believe that he actually went down and sacrificed himself to close the demon gates to protect them from Satan or from Hell's army. Versus he actually went down there to gain the power, and fucking Dante and them closed the fucking door, and he wasn't able to come back out. So I thought that was pretty fucking crazy. So they actually worship
so the people
him.
Are just wrong.
Right. And it gets a little bit more into it because like that's literally the beginning of the game I was playing for, and it's like following around Nero for a little bit for the opening, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I was like, I have no idea who this fucking guy is. I was like, I don't care. And then all of a sudden, like, Dante comes in through the fucking glass ceiling and literally shoots the fucking priest right in the fucking face. Kills him instantly. Turns around, has blood all over his face, just starts shooting and killing random people with his sword. And I was like, okay. I've never seen Dante in 3 games kill anybody other than a demon. What the fuck is happening right now? I was so confused. Turns out a lot of them worship Sparta because they've taken in demon blood, and a lot of them are actually demons themselves. So because him and Nero fight for a little while, and once again, like I told you, Dante's cocky and he's an asshole. So like Nero actually slams his sword down because he starts fighting Dante so everybody can get out, and he revs his sword up. And then like him and Dante fight for a little bit, and it's basically like just showing you like how to use your weapon. So it's like, now fight with Red Queen and learn how to use your sword for a little bit. And after that, it just goes to another cutscene. And so Dante's just looking at the statue, and Nero's all like, what's the point in packing that sword if you're not even going to use it? And then Dante grabs his sword, looks at it, and then stabs it into the ground. And his sword doesn't have the motorcycle handle because it's a normal fucking sword and not fucking stupid. And he does the whole acting like he's revving his own sword just to piss Nero off. Because he doesn't say a word at all. And the entire time Nero is fighting him, he's only using one hand. His other one is all gloved up and in a cast. So that way the people don't see that he has a demon hand. He doesn't want anybody knowing about it. And so then Dante goes to stab him with the sword, and Nero has no other choice but to block it with the demon arm. So it hits the demon arm, and it fucking does this explosion, and it blows all the fucking wrapping off the fucking arm. And Dante's looking at it, and he goes, oh, so you do have a trick up your sleeve. And then that's when Nero's all like, oh, I see the cat doesn't have your fucking tongue anymore, and then throws it. And they cuss like crazy in this game. It's so great. It's so good. I love it.
All right, then. One
of my favorite scenes is like they actually get Virgil's sword, because Virgil's supposedly dead in 4. He died at the end of 3. Virgil's supposedly dead. Nero ends up getting Virgil's sword, the katana, and basically absorbs it into his demon arm, because they end up finding out that Virgil's sword is the other half of the key to open the demon world. So he uses it and absorbs it into his arm, and now he's actually able to access his demon side, kind of like Dante can, which I didn't tell you that yet. Dante can access his demon side, Virgil can access his demon side and actually turn full demon for a short amount of time and fight that way, and then they run out of the fucking energy because they're only half, and then they go back to human.
So they're human except for these few like minutes when they get to be all scary.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And so Nero absorbs the katana, and it's funny because like they end up fighting this like statue, if you will, this gigantic fucking statue of Sparta that the priest who we saw die earlier, but he didn't actually die because he's like this archdemon, has brought to life. And he's getting absorbed into the fucking statue, and Dante's like, you better not give up, kid. And he's all like, go fuck yourself. And Dante's all like, I'm gonna need that sword back. If you don't give me that sword back, I'm gonna be pretty pissed. And then Nero's all like, then come and take it. And as he's fucking absorbing, he holds the demon hand up, and then he flicks Dante off as his demon hand's getting absorbed into the fucking statue. He's like, then come and take it. I was like, and then fucking Dante's like, what a punk. I was like, that is pretty funny. But they go at it. Yeah, and like my favorite shit is the conversations between Dante and Virgil. Those are the best to me, because they just the way they go back and forth with each other is pretty awesome. Dante shows up, this gigantic tower fucking just erupts in the middle of the city. This is 3. This is the whole like plot of 3. This gigantic tower, and at the bottom of it is where the portal is to go to hell. And Virgil's trying to work his way to get Dante's pendant and then go back down through the tower and then open the gates of hell. So Dante gets all the way at the top, and it's all raining and shit like that. And Virgil's like, I'm glad you could make it. And then Dante's all like, you sure know how to throw one hell of a party. No booze, no food, and the only babe just left, because this chick that was there, she left. The only babe just left. And then Virgil's like, sorry, on my preparations for the bash. And he's all like, well, enough of that. He's like, how about a kiss from your little brother? Or better yet, how about a kiss from this? And points the fucking guns up. Like, they actually go at it. Like, they fucking fight their ass off. And yes, I have this whole dialogue memorized because I played Devil May Cry 3 that many times. I love that game. It's so good.
I was about to ask, is this because you died so many times that you just kind of got this cutscene in your head? Okay.
I played it when it first came out on PlayStation 2. I played it whenever it got remade for the next PlayStation, and then I played it again whenever it got remastered again and brought out on the Xbox, and have beat it all the way through. I love this game. Not to mention I played it on every difficulty all the way up.
All right, so you are a super fan.
Oh yeah. Devil May Cry 3 is my favorite. One of my favorite scenes that I always remember, because there was like a discussion about whether or not Dante and Virgil are like really strong and really fast. There's this scene where they're fighting on top of the tower, and it is just pouring down rain. And they're just clashing swords, like left and right, just hit. And then finally they do like one big clash where they're just holding each other's swords, and then you see all the rain fall. So like they actually go back and analyze about like literally how fast they were. They were hitting every raindrop around them on the way down to where the entire floor beneath them was completely dry until they clashed swords and all that rain just fell down. Everything else around them was soaking wet. But that's how fast they are. I was like,
They were just slapping the rain out of the air.
Shit, yes, exactly, with their swords as they were fighting each other. That's how
that
fast
is
they are.
stupid fast.
Yeah, there's literally a scene up there whenever you're fighting Virgil, and fucking Dante hits him. Virgil goes back a little bit, and then Dante pulls out both of his fucking guns and shoots at Virgil. And Virgil spins his fucking katana so fast he catches all the bullets in the katana and then lays them down on the ground and then hits them back at Dante full speed. And Dante pulls his sword down and cuts the bullets in half, and they blow up next to him. Yeah, it's pretty fucking sick. Like, it's fucking awesome. I fucking love this game. I know, it doesn't make sense at all, but it's fucking
I was going to say, the fact that the bullets are blowing up is the part that I'm like...
Well, it's more like the gunpowder doing that poop, 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 poop type deal, you know? Because, like, I don't know.
Gunpowder's doing that in the gun, not on the bullet.
Yeah, I know, but that's the only thing I can think of. So, that's all I got.
All right, well, thanks for trying to throw them a bone, but they were in the wrong.
So
we can just say that.
It's pretty dope, though. It's pretty fucking dope. I love it. It's such a good game. But then it gets really cool because fucking him and Dante are still fighting, and then Virgil stabs Dante and knocks his sword away from him.
Mm-hmm.
And does this whole like monologue about like how he refuses to change into a demon. He's like, you don't have power, and without power, you have nothing. And then he pulls the sword out, and as he does, he grabs him by the amulet and rips the amulet off of his neck. And now Virgil has both the amulets. And then Dante
not great.
It's funny because Virgil puts his sword up and he goes to go leave. And he grabs Dante's sword, and Dante goes to slowly start to stand up, and Virgil turns right back around and puts his fucking own sword through his chest, all the way through. And that's whenever you first access your demon mode as Dante, because then Virgil goes to start leaving, and then the sword itself, like it has like a skull face on it. The skull like opens its mouth, and its eyes go red, and then the sword just comes flying out of Dante. Dante gets up and goes flying all the way across the tower. He goes to punch Virgil, and Virgil pulls out his fucking sword, and Dante punches like straight through the sword, and like the sword's like halfway through his fucking hand. And he starts moving his fucking hand around with this fucking sword in it, like ripping through his hand to get his hand back out, and then grabs it and throws Virgil. And then Virgil's like, ooh, I see the devil has awakened inside of you as well. And then that's when Dante turns demon mode for the first time, but he only holds it for like a couple seconds and he passes out.
Your description of what's happening in these fights sounds hella weird. We got bullets exploding, which typically they don't do. We have men punching their way through swords?
So basically, you got a katana, right? I pull the katana out in front of me, but it's halfway still in its case. So about half the blade is out. The other half is still in the actual case itself. The scabbard.
Okay, katanas are typically a couple inches wide at the widest.
The blade is facing out towards you. You are going to punch me. The blade literally enters your hand between your middle two knuckles as a fist.
Getting it now.
Yes, all the way to the middle of your hand. Then you turn your hand sideways and then turn to rip the sword out and then grab the sword with your bare hand and throw me across by holding the sword. That's what happened.
Ah! Get it now. Don't like it. How graphically was this shown?
Graphics weren't that great back then. So
thank God.
It just looks like a hand just moving and you just see red all over the place. You don't see actual cuts or anything. It just looks like the sword glitched into his hand is what it looks like. You don't see like any openings or anything like that. You just see a bunch of blood. That's it. In today's graphics, it'd probably be pretty good. That'd be dope. I'd be okay with that. Full remake of Devil May Cry 3. Be alright with that. I'd be okay with that.
No.
Yes.
No.
But yeah, so then fucking Dante chases Virgil down the tower. Virgil ends up opening the hell gate, goes inside, but the person that's been kind of like walking him through this kind of really shows his real self and takes the power of Sparta for himself. So now it's Virgil and Dante versus this asshole, which is pretty great because they fight each other they fight with the boss. And one of the coolest parts is that they both slice their swords into the side of him. And then they both push their swords all the way through to where they go out the other side. And then Virgil's fighting with Dante's gigantic sword and Dante's using the katana. And then they fight like that for a little bit. And then they both jump away and they throw the swords back at each other. And then Dante pulls out both of his guns and the fucking beast like slaps Dante's hands and one of the guns goes flying and Virgil catches it. As I told you, Virgil doesn't like to use guns. And Virgil goes, I guess I'll try it your way for once. And Dante goes, remember when we were kids? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, Jackpot. And they both put the guns together and fucking shoot and it just blows the dude the fuck up. It's pretty dope.
What's the guy's name that's their guide?
I want to say his name was like fucking. It was something fucking weird. I don't remember this asshole's
it's probably
name.
something from Italian, like, mythology. Maybe poetry, perhaps.
What's this asshole's name?
Gotta tell me. You gotta find it.
I'm trying.
Because I promise you, it's somebody important in one of these guys' lives. I'm gonna guess Dante's life. As in Dante's, maybe not greatest, but best known work, Dante's Inferno, Virgil guides him into hell.
I was right. I was fucking right. I wanted to say this, but because I've been playing the game so recently, I didn't want to actually fucking say it because I thought, no, that's not it. Fucking Arkham. His name is Arkham.
Arkham?
Yeah, Arkham. And I was like, no, I'm only thinking of that because of fucking Batman Arkham, because I've been playing that recently, like I told you on the Harley Quinn DFU, which if you guys haven't seen, go check it out. But yeah, Arkham.
I'm trying to. I don't know off the top of my head of a significant Arkham in any of these guys' lives, but Dante is not, the most important thing in my life.
Fair enough.
This is gonna bother me. It also doesn't sound like a particularly Italian name.
No, it doesn't.
No, I don't think there was a significant Arkham for any of them. Nuts. All right, my theory doesn't hold true. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, you tried. But yeah, that's Arkham. Well, I mean, their father's name is Sparta.
Which is Greek, but... Well, is it Sparta like Sparta?
No, D-A. D is
okay, you've been saying it like Sparta. So.
Yeah, D.
I thought it was... Yeah. Which seems to be a reference to Greek mythology, or Greek, like, geography, actually. I guess it's not really mythology. And Ava is a pretty decent reference to Eve, so we've got various forms of mythology going on together. Like, we've got a general, like, Mediterranean scope here. Arkham is way outside that.
Yeah, okay. So Sparta is the demonic knight who did rebel for humanity's sake for his wife 2,000 years before the events of Virgil's Devil May Cry 4 special edition, where they go a little bit deeper into it. He defeated many demons and their emperor Mundus before sealing the gateway between the demonic and the human world. Sparta's heroism made him legend in the human world. He's actually known as the legendary Dark Knight because he did it basically for his own selfish reasons to gain the power. Everybody else thought they did it in order to save them, which is not true.
Aha. So what you've told me.
The gateway between two worlds, Sparta sacrificed his blood, that of the mortal priestess, and two complementary amulets, also known as keys, which were brought to the human world. The amulets were, once again,
given to his kids.
Near the end of his life, Sparta took a human wife and fathered two sons. He gave the amulets to Eva, who passed them on to their sons. Sparta also gave his sons enchanted swords with opposing powers. Dante's broadsword Rebellion, that also allows the user to absorb anything, and Virgil's katana Yamato, that can split one's being or open a link to the demon world. It is unknown how Sparta died, and Dante believed that there was a lot of confusion surrounding his father and his legacy.
Okay, so you say that again. The broadsword can...
The Dante's broadsword that can allow the user to absorb anything. So, like I'll tell you, he absorbs the souls and turns them into weapons. Probably his sword doing that. Allows the user to absorb anything. And Virgil's katana that can split one's being or open a link to the demon world.
Okay. Got it. Interesting. Continue. What else do you have to tell me?
Well, that was pretty much just trying to wrap up a little bit on Sparta there. There's various different characters that show up, side characters like Lady and Trish and all them. They're not too overly important, although one of the interesting ones, and I don't really know the reason behind, well, actually I do, Mundus created her, which I think that Mundus might have been in love with Dante and Virgil's mom. I'm not 100% sure if that's true or not, but he made a demonic mercenary, if you will, called Trish, who is literally the spitting image of Eva, and she works alongside Dante, which is even more weird because it's like he has a chick working with him who looks exactly like his mom.
Is he sleeping with her?
I don't think so, but they do make a lot of sexual jokes at each other, so that's kind of weird.
Yep.
So, but Dante pretty much hits on anything
Getting
that has
a
two
little edible.
legs. So
I'm sorry, say that again?
I said Dante pretty much hits on anything that has two legs.
Male or female, or is he just
pretty much just female?
Just into the ladies. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like he said whenever I was telling you at the party where he's all like, the only babe just left. Yeah. No, he is 100% straight. Virgil's 100% straight. Nero's 100% straight. I don't think there's any of the characters that are even remotely bi or gay in any way. So, but yeah,
and they're all human and half demon, except for Nero, who's only like
a fourth,
demon arm.
I guess. I don't know if you would call that a fourth demon.
Maybe an eighth because it's just from the elbow down.
Yeah, an eighth demon, which is Virgil's son. Dante and Virgil are both half demon, and Trish and Lady are not anything but human. Well, no, Trish is demon. Sorry, Trish is demon. Lady is human. But actually, what's cool, and I only know this because of the opener for Devil May Cry 5, is that Nero loses his demon arm. A demon shows up, and you didn't get to see who he was because he was in a cloak, but he knew that the sword was in Nero's arm. And so my guess is Virgil grabs Nero by the arm and rips it off completely, and Nero fucking bleeds out. And someone comes and saves him and ends up giving him like a robotic prosthetic arm. And
oh my gosh.
As he's sitting there bleeding out, he looks up and sees the person change the arm back into the katana, pull the katana out, cut a link open into the demon world, and then just walks out.
Whoa!
Pretty crazy.
That is not what I would want to see while bleeding out.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't feel like a sane moment.
Nope.
Man. Also a bit dark.
Yeah, a little bit. This game is known for that.
Yeah.
So it is all a demonic game. So everything about it says demon. So yep.
Yeah.
But just the wisecracks and stuff that happen in the game between fucking the characters and the bosses and stuff like that, it makes the game so good because every character is pretty much a copy of the other one. Virgil, Nero, Dante. The only difference is Dante can back it up because he really knows what he's doing. Virgil's just young, or Nero's just young and cocky, and Virgil's a tad bit more strict, but he does talk shit. So they all talk shit. They're all sarcastic and they're all assholes. But Dante's interactions with the bosses, especially in 4, are pretty fucking hilarious. Because Nero, you go through the game as Nero, and he is basically sealing the demon bosses back into their stones. They're these gigantic like stone doorway portals, to where Dante goes through and finds that the bosses have escaped from these that Nero sealed them in. He's sealing them back in it and then destroying them afterwards, like completely destroying the stones.
So they're gone.
So they're gone. Exactly. Yes.
Okay. So Nero has like nice thoughts, but Dante's actually competent.
Nero's just more of he needs to learn more. Yes, it's actually funny because the opening to Devil May Cry, it shows Dante. Well, what they consider to be Dante, the shit fucking realistic graphics they decided to give every character, which makes them look like fucking dog shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you've sent me these before.
So what they consider to be Dante, and it says the legendary Demon Slayer, and then it shows Nero, and it's just like the Demon Slayer.
Because he kills him occasionally, but
One cool thing that I would like to point out is that they did actually have an animated series, and it was one season, and it was actually very fucking good. So if anybody ever wants to watch a demon slaying mercenary go through and fuck shit up, once again, it was one season. I think it was about like 8 episodes. It was actually really fucking good.
Now, when you say really fucking good, was it just like fun action? Like,
No,
I'm here to see some cool art.
There was story to it. I wanted to say, I mean, I can't remember exactly 100% how it happens, but it's kind of like almost like a. Did you ever see the movie with Denzel Washington, Man on Fire?
No, I didn't.
Well, he basically gets paid to go take care of this like little girl and be like a fucking like bodyguard protector. Like that's how the thing starts, and then like all this shit starts to break down, and these demons show up and shit, and then like it's like 8 episodes down, they're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on and kill demons and protect this little girl all in the process.
Okay.
Pretty dope. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good.
Now it sounds like they don't. We're entering the time when I can ask questions, right?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Good. It sounds like their enemies are various demon bosses that you encounter throughout the game. There isn't
Correct.
one specific big baddie. Is that right?
But that's possibly technically Sparta, but yeah.
Okay. And their significant relationships are the people that they're like fighting alongside. So as you mentioned, like Trish and Lady, and then Dante and Virgil are like their brothers, and so they encounter each other. Right. And there's nothing outside of that, right?
Right.
Okay. Do they have any significant weaknesses?
Not really. I don't think that there actually is like a hardcore weakness.
Okay. And their powers are primarily based on their demon side, which we've already discussed.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. One cool thing that I would like to point out, though, just because like it's one of my favorite scenes in the cinematics at the end of 3, is whenever they're fighting Dante and Virgil, and Dante's trying to steal the devil world. They end up fighting, and Virgil loses. Virgil like backs himself all the way up to this waterfall, and he's about to fall off. And he's sitting there talking to Dante, and he goes, "You can have my sword, you can have whatever." He goes, "But this will be mine," and it's his half of the amulet. And he goes, "Because this belongs to a son of Sparta." And then he just falls off the fucking waterfall, and Dante goes to grab him, and Virgil pulls his sword out and cuts Dante's hand. And then like at the end of the game, Dante's sitting there, and someone's like, "So, are you going to stay here all day, or are you going to get up and do something?" And he just looks down at his desk, and then like it shows that he still has just that glove, because he always wears gloves, and you see the cut in the glove. The soundtrack for this game, amazing, by the way. One of my favorite soundtracks. I've actually have listened to their battle music while playing other video games before.
Because it's just that good?
3 is the best. And I don't like listen to like hardcore rock or anything like that, but like this shit's actually really good. But 3 is the best, but there is one song, I think it's like Never Surrender. Yeah, Never Surrender is my favorite song from 4.
I know that song. I listen to mixes of epic battle music while I am doing my accounting, because something needs to keep me going. And I've heard "Never Surrender" actually. I've seen it on the screen.
And then there's "Devils Never Cry," and then was it "Taste the Blood"? Yeah, those are the other 2 that I like a lot. But those are from 3. Yep, really good.
Dante is alive and Virgil is dead, to the best of our knowledge.
I know, and I've seen him in cinematics in 5, so I know he's alive.
Okay, so everybody's alive then.
Yes, everybody's technically alive. Virgil's been pronounced dead like 4 times.
We don't believe this shit anymore.
Yeah,
okay, got it.
Don't believe he's dead anymore.
Got it. Is there anything else that you think I really need to know?
If there's anything I didn't go over. I don't think so. Yeah. No, I think you're pretty good to go. All right. Pass my test.
Well, let's see if I pass your test. I think the worst I've ever done on a final test was 80. Let's see if I do any better this time.
This is a pretty easy test. There's really not too much crazy that goes on in this game for you to like have something different thrown out. It's pretty straightforward in my opinion, but it's a really good game. Who is the main character in DMC?
Dante.
Who are Dante's parents?
Ava and Sparta.
What is Dante?
A half demon.
All right. What is it? Half demon / half human or demi-demon? Yes.
Should have said demi-demon.
Who is Dante's identical twin brother?
Virgil.
Whenever I wrote that down, I didn't notice, but I actually left off the L, so it's just Virgie.
Also cute.
How can you tell them apart?
Virgil wears his hair up and loves blue. Dante wears his hair down and loves red.
Correct. What is the boys' favorite possession?
Probably their pendants.
Yes. Virgil. Uh. Virgil is not a fan of using what?
Guns.
Who is Virgil's son?
Nero.
What is Nero's curse?
He has a demonic arm that's really his dad's sword.
Mm-hmm. And what is Dante's profession?
He is a paranormal mercenary.
There you go. Boom, boom. 100%.
Hey! Yes!
Not that complicated.
No, but it doesn't always happen, so I'm gonna be happy.
There you go.
You can't stop me.
There you go.
Well, thank you, Chris. That will do it for our class on Devil May Cry. If you've gone through 5, feel free to let us know if you think Chris needs to go play 5, which, to be clear, he doesn't want to play, but he's willing to. If you guys, our community, say he needs to and then needs to tell me the story. So if you want it really badly, beg for it in the comments and he might do it for you. No guarantee, but he might. Just beg loudly and repeatedly. But mostly, if you guys liked this content, please like and subscribe to our channel. It will help us a ton, and we'd really appreciate it. We love that we're building a community here, and we want to continue doing so, and we want you to be part of it. Turn on the notifications so you know when to come to class. Come and interact with us in the comments below, or on the Twitter or Twitch links that are below as well. But we are looking forward to interacting with you no matter which way you choose to reach out. Bye, friends.